Good morning, everyone. I'm Robin Hackett, and I'm really grateful to be here to share music with you. So this song I'm going to sing for you is pretty much my life's mantra. It was kind of downloaded into me from Spirit, and so I'd like to share it with you. We are all just mirrors in your faces. I see clearer than I've ever seen before. The heart is where to live from, to give all you can give from. This is what I truly know for sure. What we're here for, to give and give more. Oh, love, yeah. And love is what we're here for, to give and give more. Love, 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 love. I said love, 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 love. I'm tired of all this anger and my own unkind behavior. Who am I to judge anyone at all? 'Cause if I look into you, I can see the pain you've been through. And I know 'cause I've felt the same way that you do. And love is what we're here for, to give and give more. Oh, love. And love is what we're here for, to give and give more. Love, 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 I said love, 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 love. And I am an instrument of my peace. I am an instrument of my love. I said love, 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 love. And I am an instrument of my peace. I am an instrument of my love. I said love, 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 love. Here we go. And I am an instrument of my peace. I am an instrument of my love. I said love, 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 love. And I am an instrument of my peace. I am an instrument of my love. I said Thank you. Thank you all so much. Wonderful band. Thank you.
And so nice to see some faces I haven't seen in a while in the audience and in the congregation. And whether you're here today or you're watching online, what we want you to know is this. We're here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. We long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. We're here to remind you how much you're truly loved. That's the truth. And Donalyn's going to join us for the next one. This is a chant that we want your help with as well. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Again, sing with us. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. That which touches me most is that I have a chance to work with people, passing on to others that which was passed on to me. The older I get, the better I know that the secret of my going on is when the reins are in the hands of the young, who dare to run against the storm. Sing with us. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Not needing to clutch for power, not needing the light just to shine on me. I need to be just one in the number as we stand against tyranny. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until they come. Last time, here we go. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes.
Indeed. Good morning or good afternoon now, and welcome. My name is Reverend Dr. David Goldberg, and here at Unity on the Avenue, we are a radically inclusive community. And what that means to us is we honor all people. We recognize all faith traditions and all gender identities and gender expressions. So wherever you are on your path, whatever you have done or not done, we don't need to know. We love you, we bless you, we honor you with open arms into our community. And this morning, we are so blessed to have two extraordinary special guests with us. Reverend Dr. Roger Teal and his beautiful wife, Erica, a religious science practitioner, powerful prayer partners, and we are grateful to have you with us, and welcome. So, I always get in trouble because I steal Donna Lynn's thunder with the announcements. Spoiler alert, I'm doing it again today. So we have one thing that's not included in our slides because the plans are just coming together. We are so excited to be talking about Spirit Expressing. This is the workbook we're going to be working with. It's a 7-week program that we're going to start on September 19th and will be complete on Halloween. And then the next week on November 7th will be our celebratory potluck, right? We know sometimes you all are very nice to come and listen to me deliver a message, but it's really all about the snack and chat and getting together. So mark November 7th on your calendars. And so 2 things that you can do with this. It's called Spirit Expressing. It's a 7-week program. We are looking for people to host fellow congregants and guests in your home and or facilitate the experience. So if you feel comfortable having people in your home, we would love to have you sign up starting next week. If you have facilitation skills and you love facilitating and diving deep and having wonderful, deeper conversations, we would love to have you sign up to be a facilitator and or just plan on these get-togethers starting in the middle of September. Now they're going to be at all times. They might be on a Tuesday morning or a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon or any time during the week. So just be with that. We're planting the seed. We'll have more information for you about that next week, okay? Spirit Expressing, and just give us a moment because Ken is just learning about this and we'll have it on the website very soon. Now, to share even more exciting things that we're doing, classes, courses, events. Oh my goodness, please welcome Donna Lynn with our announcements.
Pencil Box Project. Unity on the Avenue is partnering with the Child Rescue Foundation on the Pencil Box Project, which distributes school supplies to children in need in Denver through Denver Kids. Please bring items Sundays in July and put them in the receptacles at the back of the sanctuary. On the slide, they show examples of what is needed. Snack and Chat is back. Gather and share. We brought back the popular Snack and Chat immediately after the services in the courtyard. Light refreshments will be provided. The Gong Bath with Greg Wilkins is the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays. July 27th is the next coming, and August 10th also. Please come join Greg with his Vibrational Utopia. Concerts in the courtyard. The next one is Gracie and Blue. They're returning on Saturday, July 24th from 4 to 6. It has been lovely out in the courtyard under the beautiful trees in the labyrinth, and the folks that have been singing. It's a very, very good time. A class entitled An Experience in Beloved Community is continuing to be offered by Reverend Doris Hodgkins each other Monday. It started June 14th and will go until October 25th. You can join at any time. To register, contact her directly. We are anchored in prayer here in Unity on the Avenue. Our prayer chaplain today is Lawrence Coleman. He will lead us in our statement of faith and our prayer reading.
Good morning, Unity on the Avenue. Thank you for being with us today. Please join me in the statement of faith. There is one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God, the good, omnipotent. And today's reading is from Charles and Cora Fillmore, Teach Us to Pray. It's entitled, The God to Whom We Pray, with an opening by Elizabeth Browning. Earth is crammed with heaven, and every common bush afire with God. But only those who see take off their shoes. The rest sit around and plucked blueberries. Omnipresence, omniscience, omnipotence are verities of being and are facts of existence. The mind of God, creative mind, is perpetually moving upon supermind ideas and through them bringing man and the universe into existence. Creative mind is everywhere present. Yet, while it is within the mind of man, it lies beyond the consciousness of sense. Omnipresence is that spiritual realm which can be penetrated only through the most highly accelerated mind action, as in prayer. Thus, in unfolding this inner kingdom, we are dealing with a reality beyond the ordinary comprehension of mankind. To the superbly tuned mind and brain of Jesus, divine mind was a soil eager with vibrant life and light and substance, which he used to produce the finest of materials for both character and bodybuilding. And how is spiritual character built? It's built from within outward. Spiritual character lives in man. It is what God has engraved on man's soul, ready for development through man's spiritual efforts. It is a reserve force of organized victory over humanness. Man builds spiritual character by consciously functioning in God mind, where, laying hold of spiritual ideas through Christ, he realizes the truth they contain. And as he thus weaves them into his spiritual consciousness, they become a very part of his nature. Our most effective prayers are those in which we rise above all consciousness of space and time. In this state of mind, we automatically contact the Spirit of God. Indeed, when we elevate our consciousness to that of Jesus Christ, the God presence becomes as meaningful to us as it was to him. It is in this state of at-one-ment that we truly become aware of his sublimity and power. And so it is.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
Many Any New Thought artist will tell you that we do have divine downloads. And so I was in Santa Fe Center for Spiritual Living working with their music director, and we had just practiced all of our songs for Sunday. And I said, hey, let's write a song. And so this was just kind of floating through the air. I just started strumming these chords, and then these words came, and it was done in like 20 minutes or so. So it's the power of belief and the power of possibility. Suspend all disbelief and just breathe. You might be surprised, but you will see, 'cause anything is possible, yes. Everything's right here. Anything is possible, yes. It's perfect and it's clear. It's time you realize and take a stand, 'cause anything is possible, yes. Everything's right here. Anything is possible. It's perfect and it's clear. If you just anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. If you just believe, pray and receive. You just believe, pray and receive.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. May Lynn, our music coordinator, guest artist Robin Hackett. Ron, your first visit with us. Thank you. You are most welcome. What a brilliant addition. And Scott, welcome back. We're on a 2-week run. God is good. Oh, and what a blessing it is to be together once again in community today. It is still, I know my consciousness knows that all is well, and it just feels good to have people there. As I've shared before, these seats are so prayed up, and if you're feeling something, you didn't even have to put in a quarter. So life is good, and all are welcome, and we're very excited to be together. So the theme that was kind of a given for this month is that of freedom. And we started on the 4th of July talking about freedom from, right? So the Jews were free from the Pharaoh. They were free from oppression. And last week, in our conversation around baseball and billionaires, we talked about freedom for. We talked about freedom to be able to show up however we choose to show up. And yes, that was the day that right after the day, Richard Branson and crew were flying to the end of, almost to the edge of space. And the name of his aircraft? Unity. So there we are. There are no mistakes. And today, my friends, we're talking about freedom to. And what a better way to engage than freedom to work. Freedom to do as we choose, when we choose, how we choose. And today we're going to be looking at that through the lens of the Olympic Games. So there are Star Wars geeks and there are Star Trek geeks, and I'm an Olympic geek. I love everything, almost everything about the Olympics. I like the pageantry. I like the crowds. I like the nationalism. I like the extraordinary competition of young and sometimes not so young people. And of course, this year, there's the added dimension of the games being postponed a year. So we'll get into some of those conversations as well. So, Olympic trivia. How many sports are there in the 2021 Olympic Games? How many sports are going to be competed? Come on! How many? 62. So close, half. 33 sports and 339 events. How many new sports will be recognized by the International Olympic Committee for the first time in Tokyo? Going to see 4 new ones to the Olympics, and those include karate, skateboarding, sport climbing, and surfing. Now, for a sport to be recognized in the Olympics, it has to have a presence in at least 75 countries on 4 continents. And some of us will be happy to know as Americans, and based on what we spoke about last week, baseball and softball will be making their return to the Olympic Games. Oh, it's okay, calm down. Now, final question for you. What U.S. presidential candidate's spouse and what member of the British royal family competed in the same sport in different years in the Summer Olympic Games? I gave you a big hint there, Summer Olympics. So it's not bobsled. Anne Romney, Mitt Romney's wife, and Princess Margaret, the sister of the Queen of England, both participated in their country's Olympic teams in dressage. Now, I know about this much about dressage, and I think it's fancy horse dancing. So there you have it. Yes, indeed. Okay. So, what is your passion? What gets you up in the morning? What brings you joy? When do you get to say, oh boy, I get to do this, right? And this is actually what I learned from my beloved Erica Teal in her improv class. Whenever somebody says something or presents you with an idea, whether you love it or hate it, you get to say, right? Because it immediately shifts the energy and it makes everybody else feel welcome to be a part of the conversation. So, as I thought about the intersection of the Olympic Games and unity principles, I kind of went to this interesting place of Pierre de Coubertin, the man who is credited with creating and bringing back the modern Olympics in 1896. What if Pierre and Charles and Myrtle Fillmore had a conversation? What might that look like? So I get into this own little place in my head, and they all really like me there. So I get into this spot in my head, and Coubertin is speaking about the beauty of sport and how he really felt like it could have saved his nation of France, and how it helps young people get to know themselves and go within, and in many cases work as a part of teams, right? So that is everything that Coubertin is sharing with Charles and Myrtle. And Charles and Myrtle, in turn, are talking about their interpretation of the divine, how there is only one power and one presence, as Lawrence addressed so beautifully in the prayer, the omnipotence, that is that one power, that one presence that is spirit in, around, and through it all. And together, then, they married spirituality and the Olympic Games. So there's one piece that I wanted to share with you just by way of background that I will read to you. It says, for over 1,500 years, the games had survived only in the aesthetics of verse and art. De Coubertin was devoted to the Olympic movement. He traveled extensively for almost 6 years throughout Europe and abroad, appealing to universities and other institutions. In 1894, he addressed a Congress of 79 delegates from 12 countries who had gathered in Paris. This assembly voted unanimously to reconstitute the Games and to form the International Olympic Committee. Soon after, it was decided that the Olympic flame should be rekindled in the place where it had been extinguished so long ago. So what of that intersection then of the Olympic Games and religion, or the Olympic Games and spirituality? Well, actually, when it started, long before the 7th century, before the Common Era, the Greeks celebrated the Olympic Games in Olympia, and it was for men only. Indeed, if women were caught trying to watch the Olympic Games, they were taken up and thrown off of a mountain. It was a very serious offense, and thankfully, there is no record of that ever being accomplished, but it was codified that that was the punishment. The games began as a tribute to the gods who bestowed on us mere mortals the gifts of strength, long-windedness, and fleetness of foot. I certainly inherited at least one of those. Originally a local sporting competition, they were reestablished and recreated. And you know, the games were hugely important to the Greeks. When the Olympics came around every 4 years, all wars ceased. There was a ceasefire for I believe it was actually 3 months, because it took so long for the athletes to travel and then compete and then travel home. So that is part of the background. And the other thing that I thought fascinating, from so many perspectives, is that the early games at Olympia honored the goddess Hera. But as the importance of the games grew, Zeus, the father of all gods and men, supplanted her as the patron deity. And the great temple of Zeus was built to glorify him. And I was interested to learn that the word athlete is derived from the Greek word for prize seeker. So in addition to being only men, women not being present, the games were held in the nude. And that was the Greek appreciation of the aesthetic, of the human body, and of the athletic form. So what I wanted to share with you is part of my love for the Olympics, and when I got really excited about it is when Denver put in a bid to host the Winter Olympic Games. The Denver Host Committee was established to bring the Olympics to Denver in 1976. And guess what? We beat out 3 or 4 other host cities. Denver was awarded the games, and 5 months later, the voters of Denver said no to a multi-million-dollar investment of taxpayer money in the Olympic Games. So Denver bears the unique distinction in the Olympic movement of being the only city to be awarded the games only to say no thank you. So last week I showed you one of my incredibly valuable Beanie Babies from the All-Star game. And this week from the grab bag is my Colorado 1976 Olympic hat. And yeah, pretty smart looking toque, huh? So, you know, and this is when Rick says, sell it. So anyway, that's part of when I started getting involved and engaged in the Olympic Games, is when I thought they were coming to Colorado. Now, there have been bits and pieces that have been much more public with regard to the intersection of spirituality and the Olympic Games. One of the most public for me was in the 70s in Munich. Among much greatness and many good things, the Israeli athletic team was massacred in the Olympic Village. And it was at that time that the Olympics recognized their first moment of silence. So with these athletes from all over the world, whatever their interpretation of the divine, whoever they are praying to or not, the Olympics recognized that it was important to bring the world along that spiritual journey. Another place where I had an excellent time with that, I've shared with you before that I spent some time traveling with the musical group Up With People. Well, we happened to be in Sweden in the winter of 1980, again, another Olympic year, a winter Olympic year, and all of my Swedish host families and all of our Swedish cast members were rooting for Sweden and Finland and Denmark and all of the other Scandinavian teams. Of course, I was rooting for the USA. And you may recall that was the year that we had the Miracle on Ice. That's when the USA hockey team beat the Russian hockey team, and it became part of the Olympic vernacular. It became a religious and spiritual vernacular with a whole new tone when the announcer was shouting as the clock was ticking down, "Do you believe in miracles?" And so that was another intersection, right? And if people didn't, perhaps they did then, and they were invited into that fold. And just a couple more religious threads for you then. The Olympic motto is higher, faster, stronger. And that was proposed by de Coubertin in 1894, and he borrowed that from his friend, a Dominican priest. And the Olympic Creed also has a religious connection. It's flashed on the scoreboards now at the opening ceremonies, and it reads, "The most important thing in the Olympic Games is not to win, but to take part. Just as the most important thing in life is not to triumph, but the struggle. The essential thing is not to have conquered, but to have fought well." Again, he borrowed that from another clergy person, the Bishop of Central Pennsylvania. And the Olympic flame and everything about how the flame is lit and how it is transported. It's actually lit at the altar of Zeus. And this time women get to play. It's done by women in traditional dress, or so they say. They light the flame, and then they start the journey of the flame. And it has been repeated now in every Olympic Games, summer and winter. And as I think about the freedom to work as one chooses, there are so many brilliant athletes in this country and so many countries around the world. I trust you have your favorite. One that I would like to highlight is somebody who did not compete on the field, but rather brought his gifts to bear behind the scenes. And that is Olympic historian and filmmaker Bud Greenspan. When I was working in the Olympic world, I had the opportunity, the great honor to produce a few videos with Bud. And he, just an extraordinary being, from telling all of the stories that we all know so well of the Dan Jansons of the world and the Jamaican bobsled team, and some of the stories that we don't know of the Haitian swimmer who kept swimming long after everybody else was out of the pool. We know so many of these stories thanks to Bud and his consciousness. Bud started his career in radio and moved into a broadcast and became the Olympic filmmaker. So whatever that looks like then, we get to choose, right? We get to decide how we engage, if it's something we love or if it's something we're just willing to do and put up with. So the three values of Olympicism are excellence, friendship, and respect. And they constitute the foundation on the Olympic movement. And in Olympic terms, then, that's the foundation for how those involved in the Olympics choose to prepare to create a world that works for all. So as we look at it then as metaphysicians, as people who are looking beyond the physical, what are the spiritual implications? What is in it for us as extraordinary spiritual beings having this human experience? Well, I would come back to higher, faster, stronger. And that's my invitation for you this week. That's what I invite you into in your practice, in your life, in your as you show up this week. Higher. What does that mean? That means we have the opportunity in every moment to choose to vibrate at a higher level of consciousness. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes in my human moments, I will look at something happening in another part of the world and say, oh my goodness, that's horrible. And I can't do anything about that, and I turn the channel or flip the page. Or I get all wound up in it and I still can't do anything about it. And what I invite you to consider is you absolutely can do something about it. You can send prayer, you can send energy, you can send money, you can go and volunteer, right? That's the common thread that we've been talking about this month as well. We're always at choice. You can always do something. So higher. What can you do to continue to raise your vibration? Because that is for all of us to do. And when we do that in this community, when we do that in our workplace, when we do that in our familial units, we raise the vibration, and that is what raises the vibration on the planet. And that, my friends, is all of our work to do. So what can you do that will raise your vibration higher in support of you and in support of the greater good? Faster. What can I do that's faster? Well, my invitation is for you to move from that potential place of victimhood, from that place of humanness, to that place of knowing your greater good and knowing your expanded consciousness. For example, if we're having perhaps an argument with a family member, or even a four-legged is doing something that we're not interested in having them do, how much more quickly, how much faster could we go to that space of what else might be true, right? How can we support that? How can we move out of that victim mentality? How can we move out of that circumstance? We all know that we're more than those circumstances. We know that we're more than those conditions. And how quickly can we do that? So we've got higher, we've got faster. Now let's move into stronger. What can we, as heroes in our own lives, as everyday Olympians, what can we do with regard to stronger? I invite you to consider what your daily practice is, how you take what you hear weekly and put it into practice in your everyday life. And what might it look like to expand that ever so slightly? We're not talking about a 180-degree turn. We're not talking about meditating 3 hours every day, as I know Maylin does. We are talking about adding 3 minutes here. We're talking about adding 5 minutes there. Maybe it's a prayer before a meal. Maybe it's an opportunity to be in that place of gratitude when you're first waking up in the morning. Maybe it's an opportunity to do a treatment or say a prayer before you go to bed. Something that you haven't done before that you think may be supportive. And what might you release? What is something that perhaps is a part of your practice that might not be serving you any longer? You see, it's all good and it's all perfect. So what can you do to increase your practice? What can you do to continue to show up as you want to show up as a spiritual being? What can you do in your life that is higher, faster, and stronger? Please join me as we move into prayer. How good it is to be together in community. How good it is to feel the power and the presence of Spirit expressing in, around, and through each and every being in this room, outside on our labyrinth, online, however this message is accessed. I know it is good, I know it is powerful, and I simply allow it to be. And I bless every being within the sound of my voice, knowing that they are an Olympian. They are the best at living their life, at expressing as them. They are gold medal winners. They are all-stars in their own right. And it is good, and it is very good, and it is strong, and it is powerful. So as we engage then in the international spectacle that is the opening ceremony and the ongoing competition of the Olympic Games, I bless each and every individual as they see themselves in all of the athletes that have worked so long, so hard, so beautifully to get to where they are, recognizing that each and every one of us has had that same journey in our own unique way. So I just rest in that, knowing that we continue to get up, that we continue to show up, that we continue to do what feeds our soul, what gives us passion, and what is ours to do. Yes. So I release, I let go. I know all is well. I know every being is magnificent. As expressions of the divine, it can simply be no other way. I release, I let go, I allow it to be. I say, thank you, Spirit. And we anchor this together by saying, and so it is. And now, beloveds, is that opportunity for us to step into the space of conscious giving. We are so grateful for your ongoing gifts, for your tithes during the past year. We bless you in your expression. We know that everything we give is multiplied, and we continue to hold the intention of being, brilliant stewards of your gifts and your tithes. And please join me in the blessing of our gifts. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Today I saw the sun. I stood out in the rain and watched the eagle fly again. I heard a baby cry and walked right through the storm and felt the wind upon my face. And all the while I could not help but see the life that lives and breathes in you and
Thankful.
And I'm thankful, oh Lord.
Thankful.
Yes, I am. And I'm hopeful, yeah.
Hopeful.
And I'm so full. And I'm thankful, oh, I am. I am so peaceful. I am grateful. I am thankful. Oh, yes, I am. I'm hopeful, yeah.
Hopeful.
And I'm so full. And I'm thankful. Oh, I am. And I'm thankful. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, I am. Yes, I am. So grateful. So thankful. So hopeful. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So peaceful, yeah.
Peaceful.
So grateful, yeah.
Grateful.
So thankful,
Thankful.
and hopeful.
And hopeful.
I'm peaceful.
Graceful.
I'm grateful.
Grateful.
I'm thankful.
Grateful.
I'm hopeful.
Hopeful.
I'm peaceful.
Peaceful.
I'm grateful.
Grateful.
I'm thankful.
Grateful.
I'm thankful.
Grateful.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for having me.
And just a reminder again about our Spirit Expressing series. 2 requests this week. One is think about if you'd like to be a host or a facilitator or a participant, right? And secondly, order the book, Ask and It Is Given. That book is written by Esther and Jerry Hicks. And the course is actually based on the work of Abraham Hicks, for those who are familiar. So we're going to have online classes, as I said, in homes. We're also going to be having classes here at the church. And Rick Finbo is going to be hosting an online class as well. So no excuses. We're going to meet you wherever you would like to be met. We bless you in that experience. So please join us now for our children's blessing. Let's rub our hands together and get that energy started. And now we offer a blessing for the children of our community and the world. You are loved, special, and important. We see you and bless the divine being that you are. And now finally, as we go forth into this week, I know for you grace, I know for you beauty, I know for you complete ease and tremendous love in all you do and all you engage. Please, our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Go in power. Go in peace.
All the while I could not help but see all the life that lives and breathes in you and me. And I'm peaceful, yeah.
Peaceful.
And I'm grateful.
Grateful.
And I'm thankful, oh Lord.
Thankful.
Yes, I am. And I'm hopeful, yeah. grateful, so thankful.